This is the Transformers Tribute Bumblebee 3-pack, and this is a movie Bumblebee set of Transformers toys. And here is a look at the packaging. It's like a garage that they have, and this is like the door where you open it, you slide it up, that roll up door. And it's like these are the windows of the garage, and you can sort of peep in and see what cars are being worked on right there. And here's the, excuse me, let me just back that camera up, and you see some artwork, movie artwork right here. It's so big it doesn't even fit my review table. And here are the 3 Bumblebee figures that will be featured in this set: Collector's Classic, Power Performance, Stealth, Shadow. Transformers the movie, Transformers the Last Night, and Transformers Age of Extinction. Deluxe class, and that's it. On top, some graffiti that says, what is it? Headquarters, BB's headquarters. Yeah, I'm gonna make that up. At the back, nothing there. All right, let's open him up. Let's open up the package window, at least. It's on a Velcro right there. And right there, as you can see, all the 3 classic deluxe class Bumblebee figures. And this one's not so classic because it's just the latest one out. And you get a backdrop of, get rid of this light. You get a backdrop of tools and whatnot, rims, spanners, drawers for bolts and all that. It's like a real garage. A neon sign that says garage. Very, very nice setup. This is sort of like a lift, like a hydraulic lift they put on there, and some tools on the ground. Very, very nice. Now, I've already done reviews of these figures. These 2 figures I've reviewed on the Chefatron channel, and this figure I've reviewed on the Extinction channel. Alright, and for those of you who are still a little bit confused, and some of you are still commenting on the Extinction channel saying that, oh, you stole this video from Chefatron, you're just like Chefatron. Or for those of you who are commenting on my Chefatron videos and saying, hey, you stole your ideas from FX France, and you know, that's FX France videos, what are you doing? Well, I hate to break it to you, but I am FX France. No, that's impossible. That can't be. Search your feelings, you know it to be true. Just kidding. Anyway, FX France was my old channel on YouTube way back in 2009, and then 2012, I think I had to reboot and start a new channel called Chefatron. So Chefatron, FX France, that's me. Okay, so let's get these guys out of packaging. And since, you know, I've done reviews of it, it's not going to be like a full-blown review. I'm going to do a comparison review with these guys from the other version, their other counterpart versions that were released earlier. So let's get them out of packaging. All right, and here are the Bumblebee figures out of packaging, vis-a-vis or compared to their original counterparts. And the figures or the vehicles on the left are the original releases, and the ones obviously on the right are from the Tribute 3-pack. So let's start with the 2016 Camaro from the Last Night, since that's the easier one. It's exactly the same. They didn't change anything. The yellow is the same. The paint apps are the same, at least in car mode. The arm cannon that came with it is exactly the same. Same gray plastic, same yellow plastic. Nothing changed with that. The car, exactly the same from what I can gather. Even the paint, the matte finish of the black is the same. The yellow paint is exactly the same. They're interchangeable. They're exactly the same figure. My bad, I forgot to do this from the original one. Yeah, I don't see any poignant difference. Even the head sculpt, if at all, the newer one has sharper reds. As you can see, there are different manufacturing codes right there. The silver looks to be the same. I don't see any major differences, at least in car mode. The windshield does appear to be a little bit darker, if at all. As you can see, this one is very clear. The original release has a very clear, like white, very transparent glass. This one feels a little bit smoked, which is nice. I do like that, a little bit of a tint going on. I don't know if it's just not getting enough light, but from the looks of it, yes, it is indeed a darker shade. There's a little bit of a tint or a smoked type of feel to the windshield, back in the rear windshield, the front, and even in the windows. As you can see, it appears darker. Yeah, I missed that. My bad. So that's probably the main difference. The plastic they used for the wheels, this one looks a little bit shinier, but that's probably because this one's a little bit dustier. But it feels like it's a little bit more black on this one. The paint apps, the rear end taillights looks to be the same. Bonnet, headlamps, everything's the same for that one. So it's the exact same figure except for the windshield. I think this one looks better. All right. We'll go do this one last because I will need to show you something that I did for this one. So this one, the Age of Extinction Bumblebee. As you can see, the main difference is that this one is yellow and this one is a little bit on the orangey yellow. The original release, I think that was the theme going for the whole Bumblebee thing. It was a dark type of yellow, orangey type of yellow. They were using even for the 2015 Camaro, the 2014 Camaro that they used when he scanned the new one. It was more orange than the last night version of that figure. So this one is more yellow. The paint is a little bright canary yellow. This one is a orangey type of yellow. And the plastic they used is different. This one is a little bit more yellow, dusty. This one is orangey type of plastic yellow. And as you can see, the weapon for the original release was black, or the missile at least, and this one is yellow, the same plastic they used. Head sculpt, they share the same black gunmetal gray type of paint. This one's a little bit more black. This one's a little bit more gray. The yellow is different, obviously. We'll get to see more of that in robot mode. Again, you can see here there's more gray or beige gray. This one is all black. Hard to decide which is better, but I do like the colors on this one more so than this one. We'll see. We'll get to that in robot mode. Oh, the windshield looks to be the same. And again, I'm getting that smoked type of vibe with this one. It feels like it's a little bit on the darker shade. Don't know if you guys can see that in the camera. Yeah, this one has a little bit of a tint going on, much like the way this one had it. This one's a little bit more clear than this one, because the yellow is appearing to be a little bit dark. It should be much brighter had they been the same type of windshield plastic. So yeah, there's a little bit of a smoked tint to it, and I guess that's the theme going on with these. Okay, so the weapons, we'll talk about that later in robot mode. The missile. Okay, let's move on to the third one. Let's start with their weapons. It looks the same, if at all. This one is a lighter shade of yellow. This one is a darker shade of yellow. This is more like a lemon yellow. This one is more of like a canary yellow from the way things look. The black plastic they use, this one's just a little bit dusty, but it looks and feels to be the same. Okay, so that's the weapon. It does still fire. It's still spring loaded. That's that. Now, before we begin with the comparison, the figure came like this. When I took it out of the packaging, it was skewed like that. It did not want to fold in, so I had to fix it. I fixed it and it now looks like this. And the way to do it, I deliberately did not fix this last one, the second one, was because I wanted to show you guys. What you do is it transforms on an automorph gimmick, and like that. And what you do is like you hold on to this piece, and because if you move this piece, this thing is going to move on an automorph gimmick. That was the whole gimmick of the first movie, toy line. So you hold on to this, and then you try to snap it one gear, one click from that gear. Okay, that should do it. Hopefully that'll fix it. Yep, there we go. That fixed it. So if you want to try and experiment, you know, not afraid to break a few bits and pieces here and there. I don't think it will break. The gear is made of solid plastic. I don't think it's gonna break. So yeah. Okay. Wow, sweating beads right there. Because this thing is a special edition. It's a special version of this figure. Okay, so let me just do it. I forgot to mention for these two figures, the same issues that you had with this one is going to be present in this one in alt mode. Like it doesn't flush, it doesn't fold as flush as you want it to be. You'll have to fidget with it a little bit. Same with this one, it's not as flush as you want it to be. It's the same for this one, and you're tabbing in the rear and the bumper. It's going to be the same issues. I don't think they changed the mold. So on to these. I didn't tab this in all the way in because I'm afraid I'm going to break that thing. This is, you know, 10 years old. The toy is 10 years old, and I don't want to break that little peg. So I didn't, for obvious reasons, I purposely did not tab that in all the way in. But I just wanted to show you guys the, oh, what the hell. This thing has been acting up all day. Obviously, the differences are, this is a lighter shade of yellow. I don't think it's faded yellow. This was when I bought it in the US. It was like this. It was yellow, canary yellow. This one is a little bit more of a Bumblebee yellow, darker type of Bumblebee, what we're used to seeing Bumblebee now. And it has a little bit of a flake type of sheen to it. Not metallic. There's no glittery feel to it, but there is that flake type of sheen, and I do like it. I love it. This one is a very flat yellow. Hasbro was still, they didn't know what they had. They were trying to reboot the Transformers franchise with the movie, and this was one of their, I guess you'd call it rough drafts. The first Transformers movie toys they didn't think it was going to pick up, and it did. So the yellow is much lighter on this one than this one. The metallic paint they use, this one, you can see that all that glitter. It's a very coarse type of glittery paint. This one is it's a finer type of metallic paint that they use on, which is nice, very, very nice. It's an improvement on the previous paint. And then obviously this one will have those burnt marks, those grease marks or exhaust marks or something like that, to make it look like battle damage. This one is cleaner, obviously. Silver paint they used, and on the grill looks the same. On the rear end, this one is a darker shade of red for the taillight, and as you can see, they've painted all the way to the end. They covered that reverse light. This one, I think that's what it is. So it's silver, and then this one is all red, and that's I think is the major difference. The racing stripe is still there. Looks to be the same. A little bit more black on this one, glossier type of black that they use on this one, but that's probably because this one's a little bit more faded. But I don't think so. It's a more matte type of black that they use. This one's a little bit more glossy. So that is alt mode. I apologize for the lengthy. Oh, the rims, in case you're wondering, looks to be the same. This one's just a little bit darker on the silver, but this one could just be faded because of time, or just dusty, which I didn't bother cleaning up. So yeah. Okay, and well, this one loves to pop off. Don't know why it won't lock in. This one doesn't. There was a rubber strap. There was an elastic band on it to prevent from strapping, but it doesn't pop like that one for some reason. Okay, so that's alt mode. Let's get them all in robot mode. I'm not going to show you guys how to transform because I've already done it. Just go check out my review. You want to see how they transform, but I'm going to transform both of them, all three of them. 3 pairs, and then I'll show you the difference. All right, and here are the Bumblebees in robot mode. And once again, the figures on the left are the first releases, while the figures on the right are obviously the tribute releases from the 3-pack. So let's start with this one, since it's the exact same figure. From the way it looks exactly the same. The same issue I had with this one, replacing the arm, is still there. It's a little bit tough to put on and replace the arm with the cannon arm. You can still plug the cannon here in the rear end of Bumblebee. And paint wise, they look exactly the same. The silver on this one looks to be just a little bit darker than this one, but all in all, there's not much change that they've done with the figure. As you can see, everything looks the same. Even the head sculpt, the Autobot symbol is a little bit darker on this one, but that's probably just a quality issue. It's not so much like intentional or what. Nothing's changed. The exact same figure. I think we were right about the windshield plastic, and that's probably the only thing they changed about it. And as you can see, the windshield on this one is on the smoky side. It's a little bit smoked compared to this one, which is just clear plastic. It has a blemish on it. But yep, that's the biggest change for these figures. So yeah, okay, we'll put them here for now. Okay, let's talk about these, the Age of Extinction Bumblebees. And as you can see, it's a stark contrast. This one is yellow orangey with black and with bits of beige gray, gunmetal gray here and there. It's a black missile. This one feels like it's just a whole bunch of yellows and blacks. There's no variety to it. The missile is yellow. It's like Hasbro just decided it'll just be black and yellow, like a normal Bumblebee, or how Bumblebees or mascots are colored, and they didn't take the time to change some of the colors up. And as you can see, even in the head sculpt, the black on this one is way too black than this one. This one is bordering on gunmetal gray, a little bit of a gray tint to it. This one is just all glossy black. And as you can see, the arms on this one, I'll give you a close-up on that, or maybe we should just bring the camera closer. Okay, as you can see, it's all black arms. This one there's a contrast of this sort of beige gray and all that, and yeah, and this one has a black missile on a gray, brown gray type of blaster. This one is just black and yellow, and that's a little bit of a it's a little bit irritating for me that Hasbro, this is a tribute edition. This is supposed to be like a better version of these Bumblebee figures, and this one just feels lazy to me. They just decided black and yellow, and that's it. Well, this one shows more character, even if it's a little bit orangey. I do like the character this one has, and that's a little bit disappointing. And again, the windshield, we were right. This one has a smoked type of tinted windshield or glass plastic. This one is just more clear than that. And again, that's another difference that these figures have, just like the last night's version. So a little bit I was a little bit disappointed. I was hoping I could get rid of this one and just have this one as my Age of Extinction moment, but as it turns out, nope. This one still has a lot of character to it. Oh, you've noticed the even the light piping, the clear plastic behind the head of Bumblebee. This one is clear, very white, just like the windshield, and this one is smoked. I think they use the same plastic. Also, I did notice that the flaps on this one are much tighter than these. This one's a little bit loose, so yeah. Eyes, this one is painted dark blue, this one is all spark blue. So I guess I'm keeping both. Okay, on to the last one. And this one probably was my biggest disappointment. I was really expecting this one to be much, much better than this one. But as it turns out, I love the yellow plastic. The yellow plastic's great. It's much darker than this one. This one's very lemon, but they did remove that metallic blue highlight on him, on the thighs, again here. It's a better yellow paint version. There's less quality issues, but there's no metallic yellow, blue on it. The head sculpt is probably my biggest disappointment. This looks like a one-step changer head sculpt, not a deluxe class. And then this one, look at it. It has so much character. I thought of replacing the head sculpts and just getting rid of this one, but the yellow is not going to match. This is a very lemon yellow. This one's a canary yellow, and that head sculpt was really, really disappointing. The silver they used for the Autobot symbol is a tad bit darker than this one. This one's a little bit lighter. But everything else, the black, this one is a lot darker in black. And again, just like this one, they just made this one just black and yellow. Not putting too much character on it. And I was surprised. I thought they'd make the mask, the head sculpt painted the same since it's just black and yellow, but they didn't. They made it silver. Were they going for accuracy? Maybe. The license plate is still there, so that's great. But again, it's a tad bit disappointing that mainly because of the head sculpt, they didn't try and improve on it, and it feels lazy on the part of Hasbro. I think that they had to do that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, is it still great? Yeah, it will still receive the same grade I had for the others. The middle one, the last night version is going to get a 10. This one's going to get a 9. This one's going to get an 8. From what I graded, the whole package maybe gets an 8.5, 10, or 9. It's not going to get a perfect score. A little bit disappointing on how they treated these new figures. I thought they were going to have masterpiece level, not masterpiece level, but I mean some premium type of level of improvement. But as it is, it's just a variation. And at the end of the day, if you're a big Bumblebee fan, I think you should get it. It's a great addition to any collection, and the box is just amazing. And the figures in themselves have improvements from the previous ones, and they have some bits that just feel lazy on the part of Hasbro's design. So it's not perfect, but it certainly is a great set. If you're a casual Bumblebee collector, should you get it? If you did not pick up the other figures like this one, you missed out on this one, or you missed out on this one, yes, you should pick it up so you can get them instead of paying a hefty amount of money for them on online stores or eBay or whatever. If you're deciding whether you should get rid of one or the other, and you've picked up the previous release as well as this one like I did, initially I thought I'd get rid of the previous ones and just keep this one. But for instance, the last night, I do like both versions. I like the clear plastic and then the smoked plastic. I think they're gonna keep. I love that mold. Also, I forgot to mention on this one, the joints on the feet, they don't pop off as easily as that one. So I guess it's a quality issue on my figure. But I do intend to keep both of them. If you want to get rid of one, I'd say get rid of the original one, but I think should keep them both. For these, I initially thought of just getting rid of this one and just keeping this, because I do like this one in alt mode better, and I keep them in alt mode anyway. But in robot mode, this one is the keeper than this one. So it's a toss-up. My opinion is if you just want to display something on your shelf, the original one is fine. You don't need to go and get this one. But if you love Bumblebee and his all yellow color, this is the one for you, because I love the smoke glass on him. And yeah, but again, this has more character in robot mode. This one I like better in alt mode, so I'm keeping both. And this one, I was initially thinking I would get rid of the original one because it's very dusty, it's very old, it's very depreciated, and I thought maybe it's time for an upgrade on my shelf. And this one looks really nice and is darker canary yellow rather than lemon yellow, but that head sculpt just killed it for me. I like it in alt mode, like this one in robot mode. So again, I'll probably be keeping both. I'm not giving up any. So decisions. Not the toughest of decisions, really. I think if you're a big Bumblebee fan, you should get both. You should get the set, keep the originals. I think Hasbro, in a way, still did a good job with this tribute set, and it's, I think, mainly the set was intended for those who missed out on the previous figures, or if you just wanted a display piece that really showcased Bumblebee throughout all 5 movies. And one last point that I would like to make. So you can see, one obvious thing that you will notice is as 10 years have passed of Transformers movies, the figures just keep getting smaller and more expensive. So yeah, the realities of business manufacturing and all that, toy manufacturing. So there you go, folks. I apologize for the very lengthy video, but I wanted to be as thorough as I can be. I hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Transformers Tribute Bumblebee 3-pack, Amazon exclusive. The movie 1 Bumblebee, Age of Extinction Bumblebee, and the Last Night Bumblebee Deluxe class figures. Thanks for watching.